again from my kitchen, looking like a hot mess. I've been at work all day and did Pilates, went for a walk, had dinner, so I'm not my usual glam self on these Cunard videos. Anywho, again, C-Day was very busy, and there was a lot of socializing and a very fun surprise that took up about 3 hours of my day, but I'll get to that in a second. The morning of the last C-Day, I finally got to do a jog around deck 3. I was blasting rock music in my little ear pods, and it was amazing. It was so cool. I don't know. I mean, the only hard thing is there's a lot of people strolling, going for, promenading, which is great. So it's kind of hard because sometimes you have to weave your way around. I think next time I'm going to have to find a better time where there's less people walking. But it was just magical being able to see the waves and moving as the ship's moving. Like, it felt really, really cool, and I want to do it again already. I miss it. It's not like the treadmill at all. It was a really awesome experience, and I'm hoping next time I'm actually going to be able to utilize the deck more on the next ship I'm on so I can go jogging.
In terms of computers, do you use AMD or Intel?
Sorry, I missed. What was that? In terms of, what was the first one?
Computers, like AMD or Intel.
Okay, so we're using Intel. We've got two different systems. We've got Linux is the flight safety critical system. So we've got.
Yes, I'm just in the center here.
Hi. I was wondering if you've conducted any scientific experiments, and if so, which one was your favorite?
Yeah, one of my favorite was a Danish experiment that we ran. It was called airway monitoring, and it's to help asthma sufferers because our airway gets inflamed in space. We don't know why. It gets a bit restricted. It's just one of those changes to the human body. So we wanted to use that environment to try and understand asthma a little bit better and develop some treatments for it. But to do that, we did it not just inside the space station, but they wanted to go to a reduced pressure environment. So for the first time ever, we used the airlock to actually go down to a very low pressure to investigate the effects on our airway and to do this airway monitoring experiment. So that was, for me, that was fascinating because that whole experiment took 2 days. It was very complicated, lots of equipment to be set up, and also to kind of go into the airlock and reduce the pressure as well. And that Danish company have since developed medication for asthma sufferers based on our findings. So that was one experiment I was really proud of being involved in.
Okay, I'm out on my jog, right? And I'm getting texts from one of the women, the really sweet ones that I, went to Glacier Bay with and had dinner with. We've been doing all these things together. We went on the hike in Wrangell, and she's texting me and she said, we're at the Q&A with the astronaut. And I was like, silly, that was at 11 o'clock. It's only 10 something, I'm doing my jog. And I went, oh no, there was a time change again. So I missed about the first 20 to 30 minutes of the Q&A. So I was out on my jog and I'm like running back to the theater, get in there, find my friends. And I was so thankful because my mom and my son really love space, astronomy, astrophysics, just any and all things. So the fact that I could talk to an astronaut was a big deal. So I'm texting them. I'm like, do you guys have a question you really want me to ask? So fortunate that I didn't miss the Q&A, that my friend told me it was happening, reminded me there was a time change, and then I was able to ask my question, and he had such a really cool answer. It was really neat to hear the way that science experiments not even done on our planet are impacting medicine and the way we understand illness. So that was really fascinating. And I love his accent, the way he says asthma instead of asthma. But that was a really neat experience, and I'm very grateful that I got to experience it. I can't believe it, but they got me into the behind the scenes tour that was already booked. So excited, and I just can't. I can't wait. Can't bring cameras, unfortunately, so it's gonna be all up in here, but I will talk about it later. The behind the scenes tour was 1000% amazing, phenomenal. If you are into ships, if you are a ship nerd such as myself, if you like history, or if you just like the way things work, if you aren't even really that into ships but you just really love the Queen Elizabeth or Cunard, whatever, highly, highly recommend it. I don't know how I got so lucky. I'm thinking it was some magical birthday juju. I don't know, because that purser put in the good word for me, and somehow magically it worked. So incredibly grateful. Obviously was not able to film or take pictures of what occurred. I'm assuming it's for security reasons, but we went everywhere. We went down to where the anchors are, where they pull the ropes in from the dock. We saw the laundry rooms. We saw the kitchen and got to meet chefs and how they cook and prep our food. I got to see where my plant-based meals are made. That was really neat. We got to go into the control room. We got to meet some of the engineers. And my absolute favorite was we got to go to the bridge. We met the first officer and we got to see the captain again, and I got to ask him questions. I asked him what his favorite destination is as a captain, and he said Alaska is his favorite destination, but his favorite port is Sydney, Australia, because when you're coming up into the port and you get to see all of those iconic landmarks. I thought that was such a neat answer. I also asked him if he ever has time to get off the ship and see the towns that we stop in, and he said yeah, sometimes he gets to go off and explore, so you might see him walking around Skagway enjoying himself. I thought that was really cute and neat. And as I was walking out, I also asked him if he had a favorite old ocean liner, and he just said he did not, but he loves the Queen Elizabeth and he loves the Queen Mary too. And I was okay. The tour was 3 hours long, and it ended in the Commodore Lounge. Is it Commodore Lounge or the Commodore Club? I can't remember. Commodore Lounge. It ended in there, and they had non-alcoholic bubbly, and they had champagne, and they had little like sushi hors d'oeuvres, things like that, but you got to, hang around. But they did take individual pictures of us with the captain, and I will show you that in just a second, but I did buy that picture. I had to have it. It was such a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Like, when am I going to be able to do a Queen Elizabeth behind-the-scenes tour again, and with this specific captain? So, and I really love him. I think he's just so charming and sweet. I got to wear these really cool lanyards, which is, I'm sure it's reflecting the opposite here in the camera, but it says Cunard Queen Elizabeth behind the scenes. We got to wear these lanyards with a little thing, a little card, so people knew we were supposed to be in these places we weren't not normally allowed to be in, and we got to keep the lanyard, so I'm so excited, and I wore it the rest of the trip, so I was very, very happy. It was either 120 or 130, which some people are probably like, ugh. But for 3 hours, and you get to meet the captain. Like, if you didn't get to meet him at the event and get a picture with him, you get to talk to him, ask him questions in a more private, intimate setting. You get to see the frickin' bridge in the expanse of the ocean in front of you. You get to meet the first officers. You get to go places that people aren't allowed to go. So definitely recommend it. Here's the picture, me and the captain. I'm looking like a hot mess, and he just looks so charming. After all of that walking, I was ready to relax in the hot tub, and I made this list of things I wanted to do on the ship in the notes app of my phone, and one of them was I really, really wanted to go in the hot tub in the stern of the ship because I wanted to see the wake and I wanted to see the gorgeous views, and luckily for me, it just was, I don't know if it's because it was so cold outside, but there was barely anyone out there. And there was a short time where I had 2 other women in the jacuzzi with me. But then after that, I was just alone for a while and zoning out and enjoying the views. And it was absolutely incredible. Just one of those things you watch and you relive it, and you're like, oh my god, someday I'm gonna do it again. When I got out, I ran like hell because it was so cold and my clothes just seemed miles away. I'm running over and I'm shivering, I'm drying myself, and I like put my clothes on as fast as I could. It was really, really cold, but totally worth it. Dinner time was the night of the masquerade ball. Super exciting. That first course was the beet and apple salad. I cannot tell you for the life of me what was in those beautiful, colorful droplets around it. It was so good. It was so good. It was delicious. It was phenomenal. I can still remember. Like, I look at pictures of video. Some of the food, I'm like, if it was okay, I don't remember everything. But that was very good. The tofu dish, I can't remember specifically what the seasoning was or the sauce, but I do remember that it was very well cooked. It was very well seasoned. It was very filling and it was very delicious. I don't remember having any complaints about that meal. It was very good.
Yes. Picture.
The dessert, I can't remember the specifics. It was chocolate, obviously. I can't for the life of me remember, but I want to say that sauce, I think it was a caramel sauce. It was so good. And then they brought me again those little cocoa dusted chocolates. They brought me something else one time too, and I can't remember specifically what it was, but I just remember those chocolates a lot. I remember all the chocolate things that I was given on this cruise were chef's kiss, absolutely phenomenal. It's hard being back home. Here is my masquerade dress. I am still beating myself up over the fact that I did not get video of this dress. It made me feel like a movie star. I felt very Marilyn Monroe-esque. It was gorgeous. And here is my full look with the mask. You can't really see the feather headband part on the other side, but it was really, really fun. Unfortunately, I didn't get any more video of the masquerade ball night. I got all glammed out, and the mask was super fun. I had this feather headpiece that was sticking out of the side. I didn't get a lot of video, but sometimes you're just living life and you're having fun and you're living in the moment and you can't get the camera out. So it's not a bad thing. I just wish I could show more and have more keepsakes visually of what that night was like, and I hope I never forget it, what's in here. It was really fun. I had dinner with my older girlfriends. We went and had dinner. We went and saw a show. Okay. The show was something off of Broadway. It's something home, something. I mean, I'm sure people are not going to be happy about this. I personally did not care for it. The people were amazing actors and singers, great performers. It was just, it didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I didn't understand it, and it was like, this is a play, it's a musical, but it's about 9/11, and then there was there was stuff with a monkey and like I don't know, guys. I don't know. I like art and performances and musicals. I just didn't get it. What was it called? Come Away With Me. Maybe it wasn't anything to do with home. Anyway, I had a really good time with my girlfriends and we sat in the very front row. So it was like very intimate having the performers. Sometimes they were looking at you and it was very like loud and vibrant and stuff. So I still had a good time with them. It was a fun experience. That musical wasn't for me. And it was interesting because it seemed to be a love or hate thing. Because I met other people who were like, what in God's name did I just watch? And other people who were like, oh my God, this was phenomenal. I cried. So, you know, art is for some people, not for others. But it was an interesting show. After the show, I met up with my friends and we danced and they did shots and the bartender was really sweet. He would put fruit juice in a shot glass for me and even put the sugar around the rim and give me a lime so I didn't feel like left out. It was really cute. And they did that a couple nights. There was another night where he like knew and he's like, I got you, you know? So it was fun, just basically drinking sugar. But yeah, I just danced all night and hung out with my friends and hung out with my male friend. It was a really good night. It was fun. The next video is in Victoria, British Columbia. The outdoor cat is knocking on my door right now, but that will be a longer video and have a lot more things going on, and it will also be my birthday, so can't wait to show you. And the last little clip is somebody left a pink duck on my room number sign with my birthday crown, and sadly somebody took it. So whoever took my pink birthday duck, shame on you. But you know what, I found another one when I was jogging, a yellow one, and I took it with me, so thank you.